welcome back to F1 Manager 24, Creator Team Mode here in Season 2 of ACGP's journey to actually getting somewhere. Still yet to get a point in this season, because financially we struggle to just keep up with research and things like that in Year 1. Everyone does in this game, because of the way that Year 1 is set out. A problem that theoretically should have been fixed in Season 2 because of getting prize money. Naturally, of course, first year in the sports, you don't get prize money from competing the year before that because you weren't there. But year 2, you should have prize money. I'm pretty certain we've not seen this money. I'm fairly certain we're getting the board money. I'm pretty certain we're not getting the prize money. It's the 25th of April, so I'll pay attention to the changeover to, theoretically, I should be getting about 10 million. And I think I'm only getting 6. Essentially, these are divided by 3 because you don't get paid in January. So it's just the changeover to February, the changeover to March, the changeover to April. This is 3 months worth. So effectively, we were getting about 6.6 million from the board. And then we should, I don't know why it says 13.3 when it says 14 there. Oh, outgoing entry fees. Okay. We should be getting a third of 14 million, so just shy of 5 from them. So we should be getting actually around 11, 12-ish almost per month. And I'm fairly certain we're not. So I'll keep an eye on this money down here. Now, obviously, we'll get money from finishing the race, which if we get everything we need, we'll get it to about 9. So strictly speaking, we should be getting to May with about 20. Now, we're going to have a slight hitch in that plan because the aerodynamic testing period opens and we'll be spending money on the next set of car parts. But aside from that, we should be looking at about 17 or so million, I would imagine, on May the 1st. We should be on about 17 million. 17 or 18 million, depending on which parts we decide to go for there. And if we're only on about 11 or 12 million, then we know we're not getting the prize money, and we're going to have to do something about that. Because I assume if I'm not getting it, nobody is. If I have to artificially add in the prize money into my coffers, then I'm going to have to work a way to artificially add it to theirs as well, which is easily done. But rather than faff around with that, I figure it's probably easy just to once again cut out the middleman and just refurbish their facilities, which they don't do of their own regard. Instead, which should help the overall longevity of the save because it keeps everyone else on the go. So at full capacity for longer. Prioritizing the team hub and the driver development hub, or whatever it's called, race simulator. Prioritizing these two for their teams, just to make sure their staff and their race drivers are maintaining their things, and then whichever is their lowest, up to the value of whatever prize money they should be getting, effectively, roughly. It's not going to be a precise art. I'm not going to do it down to the dollar. But speaking of which, by the way, I can't technically upgrade either of the suspension or the car park test center, which are viable things to upgrade. Just never upgrade these two. They're not worth it. These two are worth it, and the design center is worth it up to level 4 for certain. Sometimes it's up to you if you want to do level 5. But that was how it worked last year, and it seems to be the same this year. So I will be looking to upgrade one of these two. In fact, I may do the suspension simulator and then wait on the ATR period and just not upgrade any more suspensions until this gets done, because that's a reasonable upgrade. And the downforce doubles, which is huge. So rather than refurbish it, I'll just upgrade it later on. But anyway, we've got to get through 3 Grand Prix once again. I believe there's no sprints in this set, so nope, I tell a lie. Miami exists. We better get going. But it will be Jeddah, Miami, and Imola. Starting to look a little bit more perilous, but I actually thought we were going to be all right here for a moment. Maloney's first run was faster than Leclerc's first run, and Hauger's too for that matter, but they've both gone faster since. Here we go though. Traffic might be an issue, just because people seem to be doing laps at completely random times. Makes me pushed down to 15th as someone else has snuck through there, probably Gasly. Porsche, Sargent and Hulkenberg remain on flying laps. Magnussen's done actually, and both Alpines are done. Oh, it can't be Gasly, he's on a flying lap now, so somebody must have been erroneously in the bottom 6. That shouldn't have been there, that I didn't notice. Both drivers were better first sectors. I don't think Maloney needs it, but I'm worried about Mick in traffic there, because I think he may have got caught with someone. Maloney's going faster in the second sector as well. I don't know what time he's about to put in. I believe Djokovic has done his flying lap, so it would be Sargent and Djokovic that would be in danger here. Porsche's gone 11th, actually. Mick goes 13th. Maloney's behind, probably go back ahead again, based on his lap. Yep, 12th. Sargent was on a flying lap, he's ended up 17th. Hulkenberg was on a flying lap, and still is. Considering Porsche's gone 11th, Hulkenberg could be a danger to Djokovic. Tiny bit of a distant tow from those drivers who've just gone in the pits. And that sees Hulkenberg go 15th. Hauger on the bubble in the Ferrari. Tiny margins and it would have been a Ferrari, but as is, Djokovic, shock, considering Bottas 5th. On board with Mick. He needs the most to get out of this. Well, he's not far off getting Q3, actually. Probably not going to happen. The track grip is now very high. These are fresh tyres compared to used. I say every time, it would be a bit hard to be slow, but sometimes they manage to. Somehow. Traffic appears to be minimal, apart from whatever this is ahead. Ferrari. That's going to be the only obstacle, and that was dealt with quite reasonably, all things considered. Renault's going faster behind. Solid 3/10 off Albon. Or 2 in a bit. Anyway, oh, now it's about 5/10. Good work there, Albon. No one in the bottom 6 has... No one in the drop zone has finished a lap yet. Mick. Oh, sneaks 11th. Definitely out then. Maloney. Should at least watch him cross the line, but Maloney doesn't improve. Perhaps he had more of an issue with the Ferrari, which would have been Hauger, and he's finished up ahead of both of them, actually. Both of them are ahead of Hauger. How come Porsche Hamilton? Looks like they have to be on fly laps, surely. Hamilton gets Porsche, and that's that. We'll start in Saudi, 11th and 12th. I don't think anyone's got penalties, so it'd be 11th and 12th. Carlos Sainz with the first proper non-Piastri pole, I believe. But then it is Piastri, Ricciardo, Russell, Bottas, Leclerc, Verstappen, Albon, Tsunoda in the RBs, Fittipaldi rounds out top 10. Once again, qualifying way off the pace. Suggesting the same one stop. Why you wouldn't two stop, I don't know. I'm actually trying to make a soft last over half a race just to do that. What a weird 2 hours apparently that one will take. To be fair, the softs we have actually aren't that bad. We might be able to get away with it. 2 mediums will be a lot faster for Maloney. Oh, we're all ready to go.
Well, it's great to have you with us, folks, as we settle in for the weekend's Grand Prix action. Now, it'll be interesting to see what the Alpine can achieve here.
Sitting in 22nd with a long and difficult race lying ahead, sure to be a test of resilience and patience.
And the time has come. Let's go racing. We're now moments away from this, the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
So obviously you want to be on the soft early as possible, you want to be aggressive early as possible as well. The game does kind of reward you for that, and considering we are just outside the points, this feels like a reasonable opportunity to capitalise. With Drogovic down in 19th and starting ahead of Hauger on qualifying pace alone, makes me feel like we might have the pace on them in the actual race itself. They've already been taken by Hülkenberg. What a shot, as all these drivers, Paul Aaron's already broken something. Why is the safety car being deployed? Oh, because he's there. Sorry, I was looking at the back of this and seeing 2 blue cars. I was just reading that completely wrong. He's not half a second behind, he's stopped. The poor rookies started well then. The pre-race focus was on him as well, which was rather amusing. Oh, he's facing the wrong way as well. Didn't even register that. I tell you what though, the pre-race focuses have been somewhat cursed, haven't they? So far. Sargent crashed out in the race that he was focused on pre-race. I'm pretty certain Mick was focused on in the pre-race, and that might be the one where he got screwed over. I don't remember how George Russell did in the race that he got focused on in the pre-race VT, so no we're not. It's round here, Matthew. I haven't even picked up the safety car yet. Will they just go back in now? No, okay, we'll go around again. I mean, up in the fuel immediately. How has it not gone? I'm sorry, why has the safety car gone round again? It's lap 4 and we have all of the fuel back that we need, I think. Might even be able to go 5 push on these tyres now to get to where we need to go. At the very least, we'll go on 5 push until they re-meet the line. I tell you what, the real sponsors work really well in this situation. I've only just realised we only got Mick off the start. They qualified the other way around. Am I hearing... Sorry, how is Mick locked up? I swear Mick's locked up on a straight. Where's he locked up?
There goes the steering. By that point,
They're counting that as a turn, and somehow he's locked up. That is special, frankly, for Mick Schumacher. He's fended off the challenge from the people behind him. But what on earth? Because we're now in a strange boat. Because we're underfueled now by 2 and a bit kilograms. Everyone else would be overfueled by about 4, based on the recovery that we've got under the safety car. So everyone else will be burning fuel, and we'll just be, yeah, all right. We're just going to have a problem because DRS is going to activate next lap, and he is detached. So I do need you to drive away, Mick. Oh, because he locked up on a straight, he's immediately re-met that line. He's back down to 4 straight away. Tsunoda's fallen off the back of Verstappen, which is actually just a train from the lead. So when DRS does activate, we might get him. And Mick does have a chance here. He's back in DRS range. I'll just tell him not to do anything stupid. Fittipaldi got past Tsunoda without DRS. I didn't even notice that, but he's through. Something wrong with Tsunoda because he's really slow. Mick, I take him off the strategy he's on for a second and he immediately loses a second. I don't even know how that's possible, but oh well, Maloney, we'll just focus on you for the time being. It's probably not the worst idea, Mick, to be behind by a detection point because it just gives him a chance to go back again. Oh, he's ahead by that one. That was not smart, Mick. But for whatever reason, Tsunoda's struggling in these opening stages, so we'll take a 10th. Oh, Tsunoda returned. I'm not fully certain where Tsunoda came from, but I've also forgot to actually take him off at any point there, but we can get it back here. It's not a problem. We're in a chain of traffic with DRS, so we should be fine. It's a chain that starts with Max Verstappen's Mercedes, who can't keep hold of Leclerc, who has an issue. 14 laps in. We'll see how that one pans out. DRS should keep us on the go here. I feel like there's a really good spot for Mick to come out here, just with Gasly struggling at the back. Appears the two-stop is a secret strategy because none of the options we were provided were two-stop, and a lot of people have just pitted on the same lap as Mick. So the game did lie to us there. So there's an even better gap to come out in there, in that sense, because a lot of them just disappeared. But 7 seconds up to Magnussen, plenty of room for Mick to just drive into. You love to see it. Oh, those tyres just really burn. I'll take them off just to make sure he doesn't go under 30 and risk a puncture for all of 3 seconds. But only just going to overtake, or try and overtake Max Verstappen, and then bails out of it because he has to pit. Someone out of that top pit. Oh, Bottas did. Hauger pitted as well and overtakes him in the pits. That's annoying. Maloney had an issue. That's why. Wasn't much of an issue, but it was still an issue. That's a problem. Unless, of course, these are one stops onto hards or something. No, they have gone onto mediums. Maybe they're just elongating a medium. I don't know. It might have been possible. Although people that have gone soft, probably not. Oh, Gasly must have pitted a lot earlier. I missed that. Yes, Gasly already pitted. That was what happened. I did wonder why he was so far behind his teammates. Halfway into this race, Maloney has the speed to stay with Albon, who is now the one on the fringes. Hauger's made best of his undercut. I'm not 100% certain we're going to get to the end of the race on this fuel. Recovery rate doesn't seem spectacular. And there are people yet to pit, so Maloney's actually just now 9th. Bottas is on 66% medium, so they're on the same strategy as us, as is Hauger, seemingly. Oh, Leclerc's one stopped onto hards, that's why he's not really keeping pace. Maloney has another pit stop issue. What on earth is going on in our pits today? Focusing on front left, so I assume... I mean, that one's not even on. Weird glitch. Oh, Maloney. Leclerc's issue has got worse, so it could actually pop on him. As Djokovic crashes, there's a yellow flag. He's continued, though, I think. Didn't click it in time. What is going on with our pit crew today? What have you done? It's the same guy. Fire him. Fire him. The person on the right can't even put the tyre on. Just fire him. He's clearly useless. Oh, I think we'll be fine fuel-wise now. As Schumacher gets past Hamilton. Keep forgetting Hamilton's not in Mercedes anymore. That makes more sense. That's not too bad. So Hauger's pitted a lot later than Maloney did, interestingly. Has he done soft? Yeah, he's done a second soft because he had another soft. So both our drivers are hunting down the top 10, which would be Tsunoda. And there's the first of them, Leclerc with his massive issue. It's only 11th to begin with. I believe Mick's had an 11th. I don't think Zane's had an 11th. So this would be good for him specifically, regardless if we don't get a point. Well, we'll take that. But it is 6 seconds to Tsunoda, who's on a hard tyre. Same rough, actually, capabilities. They have a huge amount of battery, but we could always deploy it at the very end here. As Mick gets Leclerc as well. I won't bother watching that one. But Maloney could steal a point. Hunt him down, Maloney. We're back ahead of schedule as well here. Go full 5. Honestly, Mick, don't even bother pushing it at this stage. Oh, you're kidding me. It's Hamilton behind. Hamilton has just saved Albon. I think Hamilton's just given up in that Williams. I'm driving into a wall. I can't take it anymore. There's only 2 more laps, to be fair, Lewis. He didn't have that much longer to stick it out with, but they've just saved him. The race won't get back underway from here. So unless anyone bins it under the safety car. Oh, Tsunoda, sorry, it wasn't Albon. But yeah, Hamilton just saved Tsunoda. What have we got to do to get a point? We did everything right there. We were on course. We could have caught Tsunoda at the very end. Used ERS to push him past on the final lap, and we would have got it. Possibly. That's infuriating. And once again, Enzo Fittipaldi in the race finds the pace, but can't find it beforehand. It's good for Maloney specifically, and countback helps Mick too, for that matter. Officially now just the best of the rest. Can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. Obviously, we don't get into this because our engineers were drunk. Mick was the only one to have a completely unadulterated pit stop, and it was still 2.5. Meanwhile, Bogdanovic picked up a podium. But there's our proof, money-wise. We ticked over to May the 1st, and it says 11.2. Now, of course, we've just put in those 2 part designs, so we are not getting prize money. We're just getting the board money, which means I need to retroactively add this money in, because that's just not happened. We have not had 17.5 million effectively, but we have had the 6 million that we just got this month, but we've not had the 4 and a bit million that we get from this. So I'm going to have to manually add that in, all of that, because I've not had any of that so far. What I'll do is I'll add all of that in now, and just to save myself some time, I'll add it in at the end of June, the 6th month marker. I'll add it in at the end of September, and I'll add it in at the end of December, just before we tick over. Because then that last 3 months should effectively cover the money that we artificially put in last time, just to make sure we didn't go into debt stupidly because of the order in which money comes in and out. Which means I won't need to bother with that adding and removing next time round. But I need to add 17 million, because that's going to make a huge amount of difference. The fact we're not getting that money is catastrophic in terms of just the balance of the game. Because that would make a huge world of difference. I could upgrade various facilities, important facilities, if I had that money. And I don't. So I'm going to have to add it in. 1 second. Right, so there we go. I've gone through and refurbished all the AI teams to a reasonable amount. I've not completed their refurbishments because I still need to do that for car part replacements and things like that over the course of the season. But I've kind of, based on where they finished in the season, I've either refurbished them or just indeed actually improved their facilities in the background to the tune of roughly where their money levels probably ought to be. So first things first, I can't refurbish that yet, even though it's on 75. Interesting. We're going to upgrade both car part test center with this money and suspension. We're going to upgrade both of those and then leave 40 million, I think, is probably a sensible thing to do. It's not far off tipping into that, so we might just do the race simulator while we're here. Any of these about to go under? Weather center. Right, there we go. So that'll do. Back down to 9 million there or thereabouts. That's going to make everyone happy with improvements. Not putting herself in any sort of peril. So just going to do 2 laps in the middle of this stint. Not really worry about it. Makes up to 7th. Maloney's yet to do the 2nd lap. Finish it off. Faster in the 1st. Slower in the 2nd. But we just sort of did it in the lull in the middle of the session rather than the beginning or the end. Not great for Maloney. But we don't have enough time to get back in and out again. Did it deliberately in the middle because you only get the 1 set of tyres, so you're very rarely going to go better in the last. And yeah, that poor run has cost Maloney there. Gives him another set of mediums. Right, so send Mick out while everyone else is on their in lap. And he'll do his 2 flying laps while everyone else is in, apart from those 2. Why has he only done 1 lap? No, you're not, Mick. Oh, well, game screwed me over there. Can't do anything about this. He should be doing 2 flying laps. I don't know why he isn't. Piastri Ricciardo once again, though. It's very depressingly predictable top 10, as always. The only real question marks in regards to Q3 in any Q3 is which set of Hauger, Albon, Verstappen, Drogovic, Tsunoda, and Russell will be there. Which 4 of those 6? And I think Ferrari have improved, actually, so I think Hauger's more nailed. This makes mentality better this weekend because... Oh, no. Maloney's on a 4. Right, I see. 4 will be better for Mick as well, as it just so happens.
And here in Miami, it's time for the sprint. And it's lights out, and away we go.
17th isn't a great start, but it's a sprint. As long as those top 12 finish, there's 0 chance of anyone getting any points that don't belong to those teams. Both hold on to their positions at the start of this race. We'll watch this overtake because it's happened. Oh, Hockenberg went off the track. That explains how easy that was, but yeah, we'll take a 14th. But realistically, just for pride's sake, we want to be 13, 14. Hamilton qualified well, or at least is doing well in the race. Just bring tyre temperatures down before we start pushing the tyres again. And Mickey's actually now... Well, we're getting Drogovic overtake first, but it's the Hamilton one I care about. He appears to be already behind at this stage, so I don't really know what's happened there. But he's having a go, Drogovic. You might as well have some fun, Lewis. God knows you're not going to get any more of it in that Williams. As Norris is doing things. Sorry, Norris. He's on a soft. I mean, simply Norris. Enjoy it while it lasts, mate. Poor Lando, poor Lewis. Where was that overtake? Oh, it was at the end of the straight. Seems to be able to just... To be fair, Norris seems to be able to contend right now, so maybe they've brought some kind of upgrade over the last couple of races, because this is a good showing from Norris, all things considered. Where Djokovic has just turned it up at the end there, and oh look, the top 12 is the top 6 teams 2x2. This is why it's not worth watching sprints. I'll keep them in. Who's behind on this last lap? Mick is. Don't fight. Confidence is very low because despite the fact he's up in positions over the course of this race, his confidence is very low because of backwards and forwards. I just don't want to anticipate a crash, that's all. Just deploy both of them just to make sure they don't get overtaken from behind either. Huzzah! We completed the race. I love the concept of the sprint, but in game they just end up processions.
With the slowest 5 drivers eliminated from each period...
6, Karun is 6.
There's been a bit of talk about Alex Albon, Karun.
That's Yuki Tsunoda. Are they alright in that box? Has someone accidentally released exhaust fumes into their box? Interesting they actually allow us to use the medium in this. So as always, normal qualifying tends to be better than sprint qualifying just because of the confidence system and our ability to do an actual regular attack lap at the end of everything once we've got the confidence up. Okay, I have to assume that's just bad from Piastri because both ourselves and Norris are faster than him. There's only half a second off Ricciardo, so what in God's name is going on? Well, the Saubers seem competent now as well. What is going on with this qualifying? I mean, don't get me wrong, Piastri's still 10th, but should have sent Maloney out first there, just didn't realise it. Maloney's too close. What have you done there, Zane? Why have you closed right up? Hopefully he's not close enough to actually do anything. Piastri did a proper time, incidentally. No, screw it. Maloney, come in. Stop this madness. You're safe. It doesn't matter. Mick needs this, you don't. Problem solved. Verstappen in danger if Hulkenberg is on a flying lap here. Verstappen survives. Skin of his teeth. We're getting a relatively good draft of Drogovic though, I imagine. Didn't show it, but... Sorry, Maloney's in the top 10. What on earth? What in God's name's happening? My attempts to draft there have completely come undone by the baffling standoff we just had there. Kind of forgot about Maloney and all that. I haven't warmed his tyres up, but Charles Leclerc being a menace there, even though we didn't really need to improve. But look at the gap between our two drivers. I sent them out literally behind each other. There was a RB in the way, but that was easily negotiable if he'd just driven around him straight away. But somehow they caught another RB on this straight here, had a Mexican standoff about, oh no, you go first, no, you go first, and created this insane gap. Still improved with Maloney, thankfully. Verstappen out of nowhere just goes third after being terrible in Q1 and terrible in his first one in Q2, just randomly decides to actually be Verstappen again. So that's depressing, because now we have to get Albon. Maloney was still scraping top 10 there. We also have to pray Drogovic doesn't do anything. Oh, he's still scraping top 10. We have to pray Drogovic doesn't do anything here either, by the way. Oof, Mick just nicks Albon as well while we're at it. Drogovic, I presume, is driving here, but bad. Maloney sneaks in on pure drive power alone. After I kind of assessed the Ferraris might have improved. Apparently not. Or at least Hauger hasn't. Actually got Maloney's tyres up to... Oh, God, we've absolutely mugged off. I think Bottas has to be. But we've actually got his tyres up to temperature this time round. Anyone on track on an in-lap? In the way? Leclerc might be. Ricciardo definitely is because he's here. He's already mugging off this Mercedes, which was Verstappen who was behind us anyway. Wow, okay. Ricciardo may have just saved Maloney. Maloney doesn't have an issue with him. That's really good work, actually. No issue with the Ferrari either. Russell's actually on a flying lap, isn't he? No, he's on a little lap. Okay. Russell could be a problem. Oh, no, Russell's back here. Verstappen's on a flyer. That's fine, then. It's a hell of a margin. Sorry, I'm on the wrong person. Hell of a margin to Tsunoda, who's just finished his lap. Enzo Fittipaldi, of course, tends to qualify poorly compared to his teammate. It's Sainz first. Fittipaldi's behind, I think. And Verstappen, despite that hold-up, does do a ridiculously good lap. We do get ahead of Fittipaldi. We just have to hope his qualifying shockingness continues. It does. It's 9th for the race for Maloney. After being knocked out in Q1, in sprint qualifying, he gets to Q3. In regular... It's happened again. Brazil's happened again. I don't know why they keep giving us terrible one-stop strategies, but because of tyre wear capabilities between our two drivers, that's what we're running with.
The anticipation is really building here. The fans in attendance are absolutely buzzing with excitement. I suspect that we'll all be closely following Charles Leclerc in this one.
Starting P5 gives them a great position off the line. If they manage the race right, well, it could get even better.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. Here we go with the Miami Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love the fact that Ferrari has a female pit wall engineer, whatever you want to call them, operator. Anyway, I'm fairly certain pretty much all of them do in-game, except for Red Bull, who arguably have the most famous in Hannah Schmidt. Aside from Bernie Collins, who's obviously moved on to presenting, Hannah Schmidt has got to be the most famous female individual mechanic, engineer whatever her actual role is. I know she's strategist, but in that particular one, but across the board, must be the most famous female staff member of any F1 team, and she's not represented in game. Yet every other team seems to have a female strategist or engineer on that pit wall. It's quite funny and ironic. But nonetheless, we seem to have got off all right here. Albon's struggled. I don't know why. Is he on a hard or something? No, he's on a medium. Ricciardo's on a hard. That's an interesting strategy. Sainz from Bottas from Piastri from Leclerc. How did this race start? I didn't actually see how the top bit qualified in the end. And yes, also, just to address it, because people will have spotted it and I've not mentioned it so far, I have inverted the badge colours because it makes it look better on the car. Although, weirdly, I don't think it's actually accurate on the car right now. I can't tell from this distance. Oh, no, it is the right way around. Yeah, it just looks better the way around. Rather than just a blob of orange on a green nose. Just because the nose was orange last year. Look, Jesus Christ, Fittipaldi. This just shoved Mick out of DRS range, the fact that Fittipaldi decided to brake 10 seconds later than everyone else. Mick just snatches DRS back again, though, which should be active now, which instead drops Howard because Albon did get back in there. I'm looking at the wrong driver, apparently. Yoink. Last of the late breakers, Zane Maloney this time round. Bang, as it says on the side of the car. Actually, I just realised that's a really bad sponsor because you don't want your car to go bang. I think Mick's going to go opportunities on Enzo Fittipaldi as Maloney gets Russell as well. What is happening? We do have a good DRS. I don't know who the bad ones are on the grid, but we are 7th, I think, so effectively the 4th best DRS on the grid. Our top speed's terrible, but our DRS is good. We might be addressing the top speed issue soon as well in terms of upgrades. Alright, so once again, we'll just do the same thing. We'll cool down the tyres, and then we'll start pushing them again. We'll get them back down to neutral, whilst hopefully not allowing Tsunoda back in DRS range. No, we've let him back in DRS range. Oh, no, sorry. It's not actually that DRS range that matters. We already had Russell, didn't we? It didn't matter if Tsunoda got... Wow, okay. Have we just created like one trade from Djokovic through to Ricciardo now in his hard-running McLaren as Verstappen tries to get past on a medium? I mean, what a time to actually be conserving fuel here, because this train is effectively saving our bacon, I think. Provided Mick can stay in a second here with Fittipaldi all over the back of him as his car comes alive in the race once again. So we've got the tyres back down again, so Maloney just needs to go for it or get taken by Russell. Either works, mate. Whatever. Your confidence has still got to be above, yeah, because you have gone forwards. This is a very costly mistake from George Russell, hounded by Maloney. It's cost him all those places. Ends up behind Enzo Fittipaldi, who's in the back of this train now. These are drivers 7th and 9th as things stand. 5th and 9th because Maloney overtakes Verstappen. This isn't the highlight I want. Because I think he might get Ricciardo... Oh, he must get him on the straight that follows. As Max Verstappen in his mediums has struggled to get past Ricciardo in his McLaren on hards, Maloney's had no such issues. He's not going to drop the hard-running McLaren, but he's had no such issues getting past him in the first place. And the real last of the late breakers does get back through again. But I think Maloney's got the pace. It's just going to hurt his confidence going backwards and forwards here. We never actually got the replay for the overtake in the first place. But he won't be able to shape Ricciardo, which is going to be a problem, as Mick enters a backwards and forwards with Fittipaldi as they detach. So Mick's set to come in before Fittipaldi. Yeah, despite the fact that Mick's up to 11th. Oh no, he's back to 11th. That's where he started. His confidence is way down because he's got stuck in backwards and forwards DRS-wise. I'll take him off recovery for the time being. Take whatever's left of those tyres out there, mate. Right. Please, no problems. 2.317 is our best ever. How have we gone from the worst ever pit stops we've ever done to the best pit stops we've ever done? That's ridiculous. It comes out, I want to say in a bad spot, but considering his confidence right now thanks to DRS swapping and the impact that has, I don't think this is a bad thing. He's come out right behind Gasly immediately in his DRS, which isn't normally in the real world a good thing. But this is a free overtake, really, and a free confidence boost, provided he actually pops out. Still has low confidence because, wow, that should really be a much bigger confidence boost.
Gap 3.5.
What the hell just happened there? Do I get a replay for Tsunoda overtaking Maloney in such a stupid daft way there? I switched back to them at the completely wrong moment, but it very much looked like because Tsunoda overtook Maloney at that hairpin, they both just stopped to try and work out who was going in the pits first. And now we're still behind him, I'm just to come out. Not as good pit stop there, weirdly. I'm so confused. Even better, Gasly actually pits the lap after. So Mick just now just gets to hunt down Might just go aggressive a little early on here, just to get these tyres up to temperature first. But we have pitted nice and early, so undercuts will happen if people try to one-stop. I assume everyone else that's coming around us is two-stopping. Hamilton overtakes Maloney. What? Hamilton should be about 4 seconds slow on those soft tyres. Thanks for that confidence drop. That was totally unnecessary. Tyres up to temperature now will just disappear, but at what cost? Mick just attacking Sargent outside of DRS zones entirely. It's a good overtake, actually, that, all things considered. I feel like we're not dropping Sargent, though. Now Russell comes in. This is a big one, because I think we very much hindered ourselves on pit entry with Sonoda. So I don't know if the undercut's even going to be a thing. Oh, it is going to be a thing. As he comes out on another soft. I actually wish he was ahead because of confidence. Because he's come out on a soft, he's going to get past straight away. We'll get Mick conserving again while he's in completely free air. And we'll get Maloney conserving now that he's been overtaken by Russell. Just in case this ever comes into play, we'll make sure he doesn't fight Maloney. He's only a couple of seconds behind. You don't know how that's going to pan out. It's almost bad that Maloney's got enough in him to fight back, because it's going to hurt the confidence in the long run. Ah, okay. Russell's just driven off now. Crash yellow flag. But for who, Jeff? People we don't care about. 22nd. That was such a petulant little prod from Magnussen. It's just like, oh, get out of my way, Paul. Somehow it's Paul Aaron's fault that Magnussen just went bunk on his back. So Albon obviously left it a lot later. So Maloney's back in the top 10 as a result of that. Ricciardo only comes out about 2 seconds ahead of Maloney, but I think he can't be one-stopping. He's come off. No, he's gone onto a soft, so I don't know why he started on a hard. Strategies are all over the place. I have no idea what's going on. Ideally, we still need to be in 11th or 12th to try and at least capitalise on that push air. I would try to fend off by just stopping him taking the fuel, but back on you go, Mick. Since Porsche has caught you anyway. That should do it. Oh, it's the optimal lap for Maloney, is it? Oh, I might actually just leave it one more. Let him burn these ones to oblivion, whilst also costing him a huge amount of confidence because he got overtaken twice. Because his is going on to a soft, we'll leave that as is. Maloney, you should just be driving away from Porsche, but for some reason he just isn't. What are you doing, Zane? Just disappear, mate. He's in a Haas. Sod off. We're comfortably the 7th best team. There is a margin, I feel like, to the teams behind us, generally. Except for maybe Norris in the Alpine, as Mick's proving. Perfect, Magnussen. Perfect. Hold up, Porsche. Exactly what we needed. Thank you, Magnussen, who hasn't pitted with his broken front wing. Wild. It is fascinating. 15 laps to go, though. Mick's in 16th here. Not yet lapped. So it does feel like this year the lapping situation is a lot better. It might be partially because of the patch and the relative deltas between front and back being changed accordingly. So it might have been that patch that's helped this. But we are close to the end of this race now, and we're yet to be lapped in 16th. Hamilton's yet to be lapped as well, but he's close. I think Mick will be lapped just on the basis that Sainz is there at the other end of this straight as Mick gets to it, essentially. I kept pushing Maloney there. Meanwhile, Mick's caught Norris and...
Nice job.
Yeah, if we could just drive away from Norris now, that'd be great, mate.
Gap, 7 points.
We could catch Porsche, I'd appreciate it. Confidence very low. I don't really know how this race has got away from us, completely honest. The strategy was good, according to the overall times. We just overqualified, I think, in the end. We were running too high at the beginning. We were competitive too much at the beginning. Just leave Norris behind, please, for the love of God. Get him out of DRS range. What are you doing, Mick? He's in an Alpine. He might be Lando Norris, but he's in an Alpine. They are fundamentally useless. And now you're going to get stuck behind... Whatever, Mick. Just stay behind Norris and I don't give... Oh, he's got past him. I give up. Djokovic overtakes Maloney. We're perfectly intact here. Has Djokovic done something to him in this overtake? Or is this entirely Zane's... So whatever happened to Djokovic is entirely separate. 10 laps to go. So Djokovic has just gone through. Effectively, it's a straight continuation. You couldn't possibly be going any slower. You'll hurt the tyres than that, won't he? So, but it's a rear wing. I can't do anything about that. So he's just going to have to go slow for the rest of this. Mick at least called Porsche. Mick has no fight teammate on, so I'll sort that one out now. So this will be utter capitulation from Maloney for the rest of this race. As someone else crashes. Oh, hang on. There's an issue at the front here. As Crofty confirms, Charles Leclerc. This is him trying to lap someone. That's entirely on you, Charles. That's entirely on... He got out of the way. He just went wham. Like he wasn't there. What is going on today? What is it about Miami that makes people utterly useless? Annoyingly, it's not taking anyone out of the race. I'd need 3 people to retire, in fairness, but like the return rate for confidence when it's above average is way faster than the rate. Look at it. Look at it inch up now. Well, Mick's not doing anything. Look how slowly that inches up. I don't know. Maybe... there's no metric in the easily accessible file, so I might have to learn how to look at database files. Have you got any chance of catching anyone? No. Okay, just drive around. Oh, just about got the fuel back.
Okay, check.
What a yet another disappointing race in the end. No change for the pointless. RB keep sneaking points, but Mick's pit stop was, as predicted, quite good in this. Guess there's a nice chunk. Unfortunately, Zane had a terrible second stop as well. That's what part of the problem was. I completely missed that first time round. Kind of want to see if we got money from that. Well, I can't remember what it was before. I'll have to check in the edit what the money was before, because I know there was an issue, and I saw it talked about that you didn't get prize money. Like it was highlighted quite early on that you didn't get prize money, and you didn't get sponsorship money in year 2 from engagement. I think it was that one there, that stuff there basically. And one of the patch notes recently, I forget which patch it was, fixed the engagement one in the patch notes according to the notes at least. But there's been no mention of the prize money one, which is why I just reminded me and I was paying attention to it, and it isn't happening. So I'll have to keep an eye on the engagement one, because I wasn't certain the first one came in, if you remember, because it seemed like I got 3 million from engagement and then 8 million from a mandatory thing, and it seemed like I only got the 8 million from the mandatory thing. Oh good, the wind tunnel was actually bad, so I'm glad we sorted that out, and I lose more money. I know there's low stock, that's why we're manufacturing it. Our best person gets even better. Race Simulator sneaks up on the day before the race. I still get that little bit overlooked there, but our designs come in the same day too. So we're now up to 30. Is it just 40 and 50 from here on in? Yeah. So Imola, the picture of the championship is very much a 2-horse race between Piastri and Sainz. As things stand, Ricciardo exists with 78 points, Valtteri Bottas on 73, Fittipaldi only on 59. And similarly, because of the tightness between the first drivers and the second drivers, it's quite tight in the constructors as well, between those two teams. I really think we can get RB though. If we can get the developers to close the gap to 10th, I think we can get 17 points or whatever points they are on by that point. I think we can get them by the end of the season, but they only want us to get 7th, so as long as we solidify 7th this year, then we can definitely make a step forward next year. And so the reason why I'm covering all the races still, because we've not had a podium, we've not had a race win yet. I don't want to miss those, but at the same time, it's a journey and it's going to take a while, but you just never know when you're going to get a freak result. Because it was such an innocuous punt, I didn't even consider that Maloney might have hurt his mechanical parts, but he did. Most likely with the ERS he hurt, so they're both a bit naff now. They're both fine, but they're a bit naff now, so I'm actually going to shove in this last gearbox, because none of those are good now, really. 72% will see us through a few races, but if I have to take an ERS, then I might as well take a gearbox with it and take both penalties at the same time. If I missed rain or something, why has no one come out? Still a minute before we go out, but I just want to highlight this. Ricciardo's had a shocking first lap, and Verstappen's isn't too much better either, really. By the grand scheme of things, just in raw positions. Time-wise, obviously, it's much better, but Ricciardo's on our lap right now. Verstappen just coming out. So by the time we actually set our drivers off, they'll have done. We're going to have to go again. I don't know how many people are still flying laps, actually, frankly, but Porsche, Sargent, Aaron, Hamilton all on the out laps. Magnussen, Hulkenberg, and Gasly all done. Djokovic and Norris are on flying laps behind Maloney too, in the order. Ahead on track. Actually, behind on track as well, I just think so. Oh no, one's just coming across the line now. Pay attention to Mick, he's the one behind. So I think Djokovic just finished and didn't improve, which means Norris is on a flying lap. Appears to be stuck in some Williamses though, so that could be crucial there. Oh no, that was Ricciardo. I was looking for a McLaren. That's Norris. Can Norris go ahead of Maloney? Okay, so that's one less we have to worry about. Make moves, gets past a Ferrari roadblock. Clear track from Maloney, actually, as things stand. So we just have to worry about Porsche, Sargent, and, well, Aaron, but it is Aaron. Maloney gets ahead of Albon. Somewhat irrelevant, actually. I think he was fine. I think Mick improves his time, but not his position. Porsche finds 16th. Sargent's on a flyer. Aaron's on a flyer. Aaron comes first. Doesn't improve. I just leave Sargent. Mick's fine. Both Haas, Hulkenberg, both Williams and Aaron. It seems to be the staple, actually. Hulkenberg seems to be terrible now. It must be some combination to do with his age and everything, the way the game's working. He's probably regressed quite badly. Ooh, red flag. I can see a McLaren off the track. It's Piastri that's out. Oh, that's actually see accidents there fairly often. There's a fairly common one early on in the lap. But that chicane doesn't usually claim people. That's a shock and an annoyance for the race because that's going to be a confidence drop. Literally doesn't affect us because we already had done a lap. I don't know how many minutes were remaining, but there must have been a few because there's 8 minutes remaining. Irrelevant. May have hurt some tyres originally, which is why we're doing okay. Hadn't spotted that the temperature of the track had dropped quite significantly. So the tyres aren't anywhere near temperature. I actually just realised I probably should put Maloney behind for this one. I've started putting Schumacher behind Maloney because he needs the toe more than Maloney does usually. But he's actually done a time that was half a second better. Fittipaldi, I mean, it's only Q2, but ahead of Sainz is a rarity. How have they gone slower on non-fresh tyres? I do notice the rubber's very low. People usually go off there. How are they going slower on non-fresh tyres? How is Maloney going slower? It must be to do with the rubber levels and the grip levels, despite the fact there's just been we've still been qualifying all day and there's probably been a support race. Somehow the rubber's gone to very low thanks to a crash or something stupid like that. To push Maloney out, he's not going to improve. Mind you, Albon's not improved there either. Porsche and Dragovic still exist. Oh, hang on. Mick's got through. That's just Norris. Is that Mick's first Q3? Well, I mean, even without Piastri's crash, would have been all right there because he's still been 10th. It may have obviously affected the way they did their laps, but...
We will go on green.
No, you won't, Matthew. Your driver's out. So Mick will have no soft tyres for the actual race. I'm just going to ruin one of the Mercedes' laps while we're at it. Nailed the temperature on the tyres. Just tipping over as we get to the start-finish line. Who did we ruin there, by the way? Russell. Somewhat awkward as a former Merc development driver, obviously, for Mick now. Probably has good relationships with Russell, in particular. Is that traffic ahead in the form of a Red Bull? Or is that going as well? I think it's going as well. Doesn't seem to be. Christ, Verstappen's done a good lap there. Max Verstappen out of nowhere there. Gotta be said. Tsunoda does improve. Doesn't improve his place, though. Norris guaranteed to be behind, so Mick at worst 9th. I even checked what. He's going faster, at least this time. There goes Sainz. Retakes pole. Oof, significantly so. Yeah, Mick improves his time, but not his position. Does something similar to Tsunoda, really. I think they're both shaved roughly the same amount out. People crossing the line now, though. Ricciardo doesn't improve on 5th. Fittipaldi does to 5th. And Russell's done. Ricciardo with a poor qualifying. I wonder if McLaren aren't the best car anymore. One stop is faster. Okay, so one stop with kind of a selective pushing, particularly on the Maloney side. Mick hasn't got that much wiggle room. So it's actually probably a good thing we did burn the softs.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race. Mick Schumacher, a composed figure, approaching this one.
They've done well to secure a P9 start, and they'll be keen to convert that into some points.
Right, let's get to it then. The crowd are on their feet in anticipation of this, the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Oh no, they focused on Mick Schumacher in the pre-race VT. We know what that means. If Mick can hold off Norris here, I'd love him. Instead, he's going to... Well, he's not going to have a Ferrari on the inside, actually. The RB of Norris, Tsunoda is actually a bit problematic there. Yeah, Mick's been forced to pull in now. Maloney lost a place as well. Oh, it was Piastri. Don't worry about that one, Maloney. I know you will do, but don't worry about it. Wow, what a big chunk of that lost. Oh, shit, I think he's lost a place to someone else first. That's why he's lost so much confidence. He did not gain anything by getting Piastri back again. So stupid. Yeah, Djokovic got him first, I think. Why does Mick have underfloor damage? The curse of the pre-race VT.
I'll go back to Norris.
And there goes any hope of points. I mean, none of Piastri's behind, so obviously that's going to be a thing, but we could get Norris. Realistically, Norris is claimable. If Djokovic, Halger and Albon can stay behind us, unlikely, but if they could stay behind us, then we'd be in a chance of a point because we can beat Norris. We just can't beat Piastri. Stop flashing at me. I know he's got damage. You told me last lap. Norris is well detached as well, which is so annoying. Why have you overtaken Piastri? Follow him through. Around the outside as well. I just called Piastri nappy, I think. Piastri absolutely wasn't expecting that. Just for some baffling reason, he's gone, yeah, all right, I love that. Go on, Mick. You can do this. I believe in you. Oh, no, just get overtaken instead. Sure, why not? Conserve and just see out this race in 13th, 14th. I don't know why I bother. You know what? Probably a blessing, Mick. Saves the engine. You'd already hurt the floor somehow. So, you know what? The curse continues. Where's the replay of what happened to him? I can see he's retired. Nowhere near able to pit. Soft runners, if there were any. I don't think there were, though. Blessing. You'd lost the underfloor anyway. Because Schumacher's retired, I can actually see the pit lane. So I actually get to watch this in a completely different manner than I normally do. I can also see when everyone else wants to pit. Well, at least the teams that were ahead of us last year. Here comes Maloney. Pitting before other people, seemingly. Halger's pitted, and he's the only one who has. Oh, Fittipaldi has, sorry, as well. 2.4. Of course, Mick didn't even get to a pit stop, which is a shame. Should have run him on that aggressive two-stop after all, then he at least would have got one in before he ruined his underfloor for no apparent reason. I actually can't click on Schumacher anymore, but I just still happen to be hovered on him. So aggressively get them up to temperature. Only finds him way through this pack, which I think are original hard runners and Albon. With a bit of a deployment, we're going past Sargent there, who I think was a hard runner from the start, perhaps. Yeah, he was a hard runner from the start, as was Hulkenberg. But we have got past Albon, who did come out ahead of us in the after the pits, but Norris still exists ahead of us on track. So if we can get Norris for 11th, and then we can capitalise on someone retiring out of the top 10, is as far as we go. Djokovic has got himself on the floor down, which is probably why he's dropped off. Sargent held up Albon significantly there, who does the fastest lap, because of course he does, in an RB. Obviously, front runners like Sainz and Leclerc aren't doing fastest laps. Why would they be? Why wouldn't it be a random mid-pack person who does the fastest lap in free air? Logic. This game has no logic whatsoever. I'm gonna have to recover fuel because it's not coming back naturally. Maloney can smell Norris now. You know, while you're behind him, just conserve, mate. Get the conservation done while you're behind him. Let him DRS you. It is wild how essentially every single person who's ever been featured in the pre-race VT has crashed or just had something really bad happen to them. The DRS drags him all the way back up. Good, that's what I wanted to check. Oh, never mind, he's fallen out again. Oh, because Norris has done a fastest lap out of nowhere in that Alpine. Norris just does a fastest lap in that Alpine, then Piastri does take it sensibly eventually, and then Albon joins the party and ruins everyone's race. Cheers, guys. Absolute farce. I think we've got a bit of deployment back. We might be able to get back in Albon's DRS if we're smart. Bit of aggressive driving, get us back in there. I really want to get 11th with Maloney because I just hope that someone does something stupid in that top 10 in the last 11 laps, but I don't think it's going to happen. Maloney, why are you fighting before the... Oh yeah, overtake failed, of course. That's going to be a problem. Just get him in DRS or do that. Sure, that works. You're not going to drop him by a second though, are you? It's just a crash. It's not even a VSC, so Albon does still get to re-overtake us. Hulkenberg just bored of driving in the back. Decides to take Sargent out. I mean, without someone dropping out that top 10, this is largely arbitrary. But he is fighting with Albon at least, which feels like progress, that we actually are fighting someone in the top 12. Djokovic is obviously damaged, he's not in this anymore, but crucially behind on the final lap, and we're about to be attacked by the... No, don't move out of the way! Oh, you moron. Well, if actually, because we've been lapped, we'll get the fuel back. No, you didn't get past him as well. Yeah, we don't need the fuel because we've just been lapped, so the line comes first, unfortunately.
Okay, check.
Now, I honestly wonder if Mick Schumacher's day could have got much worse.
No, it couldn't, Crofty. Actually, it only recovers to 4th, which is surprising from a car that I think is the best. Ricciardo's won a race at last. Yeah, that is his first win of the season. Zane gets Mick on countback, and that's it. Well, just sneaks 2 points in the DHL as well. Every little helps, I guess. Just holding on to 5th for the time being. Obviously, Mick crashing out early on doesn't get us money. How rubbish is that? Why are they not happier? Biggest issue, none. Why are the two... Like, why have... Two people negative. I'm going to presume that's Pierre and Hugh Bird, the two actually good people in this organisation right now. But what exactly do Zane... Personal situation, contract, salary... Car versus teammates. You have the same car. He hates the car performance. Zane just loves other staff. Mick still somehow doesn't like the other staff. But contract salary, that's fine. That's one thing. But car versus teammates car... Or do you reckon it's because he's missing parts? Well, then again, so's Mick. That was what it was. It's because he was missing his side pod. Contract's one thing, though. 2 years left. I'm not going to do it now, mate. Monaco next. We'll start that next time round. But I just wanted to see if there's been any more races. Don't think there has. Oh, no. Tell you like there has been a race. I believe... I don't know how I can... How do I see individual breakdowns? Yes, we had Imola. So, F2. Imola. Boganovic, 7th. Carpentier, 13th. Not doing too fantastic. Beat Antonelli, though. Which is... something, considering those cars and that team. In fact, Trident didn't do too well there. Japanese Grand Prix. It's not the Japanese Grand Prix, it's Imola. Oh, so I think they just run them at whatever track they happen to be. They still run them at the same time every time, but I can't see the results anymore. But I think, based on this and the fact he's won one race and a sprint race as well, I think he's done things as Taylor Barnard. He's ahead of his teammate now as well, for good measure. Car part test sensors is complete as well now, as is the suspension simulator very shortly, 11 days away. I can say 9 million in the bank. How much are refurbs? 2.8. 2.4. I'm just more worried about that going under 50% now than anything else. Okay, so I'll do that refurb. I think I need to get that car part. I need to get that design center sorted. So I'll do that refurb. Weather center's 6 days away. Hospitality area isn't far off. That's 2.8 though. Maybe after the weekend, after the month ticks over, actually is probably the sensible time to do that one. So we'll do that then. But Monaco next time out. This might be the one without a sprint race in it. It is indeed, yes. So Monte Carlo, Monaco, Barcelona and Montreal next time around. And we go to Austria, Britain and Belgium. Hungary, either side of the break, unfortunately, but Hungary, Zandvoort, Monza. Then we'll do Baku, Singapore, Austin. And then we'll have Mexico, Sao Paulo, Las Vegas. And finish off with Qatar and Abu Dhabi by themselves with any end of season stuff. Just very end of season stuff. We won't do the season start, of course. But that will see us through the remainder of this season. That's what the plan anyway. Once again, 2 episodes per week. You are getting 6 Grand Prix, so it is technically still twice as much. So if you enjoyed this, despite the weird curse that seems to exist in this game, I'll keep an eye on that one going forward. Because it is weird. There's no such thing as a coincidence. And it's a hell of a coincidence. But until next time, thank you for watching. Ta-ra.